Hi, everyone, again. I'm Kasey. Thank you so much for being here. I run Luck & Co. agency. We help 7- and 8-figure e-commerce brands maximize their email and SMS revenue. So I love geeking out on all of the e-commerce, DTC, email, and SMS stuff. And I am joined by Tom, the CEO and founder of MailCharts.
Hey, everyone. This is a big day for me. It's my first YouTube live stream. So we would love questions, say hello, say what's up. And I'm really stoked to be here with Kasey. What we do at MailCharts is we have an index of 2,500 e-commerce brands that we've been archiving and indexing email marketing campaigns for years and years. What that allows us to do is organize the information and then start to get insights. Kasey and her team are pro expert users of MailCharts. And what's cool about this today is we're going to walk through some examples that Kasey's seen and talk through tips, tricks for your campaigns for right now, during Q4, during Black Friday, as well as beyond. So this really, we love it when we get to see how our data can be used for email marketers like you all. So I'm really stoked to be here.
Sweet. I'm super excited. So just to set expectations, guys, this is very informal. This is not like a webinar where I just talk nonstop, even though there probably will be some of that. But please feel free to ask questions in the chat whenever. And Tom is going to just interrupt me so that I can address those questions right away. We want this to be fun, informal. Tom, you feel free to interject with your thoughts too.
Absolutely.
All right, that being said, I am going to start sharing my screen. Metaverse. Okay, can you guys see it? Tom, do you see it on your screen?
I do see it, yeah.
Excellent. Okay, also, actually, I want to start with this, just so you guys know what to expect. In the next 30 minutes or so, I'm going to go over my process for getting inspiration and getting ideas for email and SMS campaigns. If you are anything like the brands that we're working with, you are probably overwhelmed with the amount of content that you need to create, especially now in Q4. I know when you send 2 to 3 email campaigns per week, the pressure to create interesting, fun, attention-grabbing email and SMS content is really high. We have to deal with that every day, every week. So I have a process for like spicing up my content agenda, and I want to share that with you today. To give it a little bit of structure, I separated the different campaigns we're going to look at in 3 different themes that you can see on the screen right now. The first one is what I call teaser campaigns. A lot of those are product teasers, but they don't have to be product teasers. You can tease a lot of different things. The second one is sold out forever type of campaign, and that is the opposite of back in stock, and you're going to see what that means. And then the third one is branded plain text email, or what I also call letter type emails. That's what we're going to look at. Let's get started.
And as Kasey pulls this up, this is applicable to almost every e-commerce brand out there. These are ways to maximize your email marketing, but also come up with new ideas. If you're feeling like you're saying the same thing, you're stuck, these are some tactical ways to continue to use the email channel. And we'll also touch a little bit on SMS to get in your customer's inbox in meaningful ways that can help you feel really great about just delivering value in the inbox. So
great point.
This is awesome stuff.
Great point. And guys, as you come in into the live, into the video on YouTube, please say hi in the chat. Let us know your name or the brand or brands that you're working with, where you're joining from. It would be great to see who we've got here. We want this to be as much of a conversation as possible. So say hi. And make sure that you hit that subscribe button under the video on YouTube too. That way YouTube will continue recommending videos from us, and we try to put out at least 1 video per week about e-commerce and email and SMS marketing. So all good stuff. If you want to hear about that, just click that subscribe. With that said, let's get started. And I generally I have two routes in which I go when I need to get inspired, when I need to see different email content. The first one is I go to MailCharts and I look at the industry that I'm interested in right now, and you can see all of the industries right here. One particular industry or industry group that I want to highlight here is DTC, because brands in the DTC group, they tend to be extra focused on their branding, extra focused on their content. So you can always find really cool ideas there, regardless of whether you're in the same industry or not. So definitely go check this one out. It's not the route that we're going to take today, but one advantage of doing this is that you can actually see that industry's data, kind of industry-wide data, such as sending behavior, subject lines that the brands use in that industry, benchmarks, the amount of promotions or the percentage of promotions that these brands include in their email. So lots of different cool stuff that we're not covering today, but I wanted to highlight this because everything that I'm covering in this session today is unlocked. The MailCharts team has unlocked that for all free users. So even if you haven't been using MailCharts before or you're on a free account, you can go into MailCharts and check out everything that we're covering. So go check that out. The second route for me is going to specific brands that I'm interested in. And I have like 2-3 brands that I always know, their teams are super creative. They're probably putting out some like really fun, interesting stuff. And one such brand for me is Magic Spoon. So what I do is I just find that in the search navigation over here, go to all of their emails right here, click browse, and then literally open every single email that I see here in a new tab. So my tabs look like this right now. And then start going email by email and looking at copy, looking at design, looking at positioning of the product in a particular email, or the offer that, how they structured the offer, how they structured a discount that they're highlighting. So I open the email just like that. And then the emails that catch my attention for any of the reasons mentioned above, I just add to my list. And I really love this feature because then I can share these lists with my teammates, with someone else that I want to share this with. So I did my homework. We're not going to go email by email. I prepared very specific ones that I want to look at with you. But there are a lot more that are cool that I've added to my list. So if you want to get access or like you want links to the lists, private list that I have here, just let us know in the chat and I'll drop those links for you. So the first email that we're gonna look at, as I mentioned, is in that overall theme of product teasers or teasers in general. And I really love what Magic Spoon is doing here. Basically, they are teasing a new product. They're telling you that something new is coming, but they're not telling you what it is. And that is a very effective marketing tactic because they're creating a curiosity gap. And we humans are all very curious. And like when we know there is something coming and we don't know what it is, of course, we're very primed and eager to find out. Something that I want to highlight about this visual particularly is that it works so well for that same purpose. It's showing us that there is something and it's not showing us what it is. So I just love when design kind of form follows function. There we go. So the function here is to get the person curious and interested in this product without telling them what it is. And I think Magic Spoon found a really cool visual way to do that. And then what's interesting here is that the call to action is actually to simply check your inbox the following week to find out what those new flavors are. To give you a sense of when this was sent, it was sent in July of 2020, so quite a while ago. Interestingly, almost a year later, or actually like exactly a year later, in July of 2021, we saw a very similar email from the OLIPOP team. And the idea here is the same. They're teasing a new flavor of their soda. OLIPOP sells sodas, kind of like more fun, a little healthier for you sodas, I think. And again, same idea. However, what I really love about this email is that the call to action is actually to sign up for their SMS list. And you're going to hear me talk about SMS a lot in this session. I'm quite bullish on SMS marketing right now. And spoiler alert, the best way to grow your SMS list is actually through your email list. You just need to give your email subscribers a good enough incentive or show them enough value in this new communication channel, SMS. And that value is often, or one of the best ways to position that is early access to different stuff. And this early access can be to new products, like OLIPOP is doing here. That early access could also be to sales. And that is what brings us to Q4 in November and December. That is most relevant for everybody right now. Even if you don't have a new product launching soon, even if you don't have a new flavor or a new color of something going out, you can always tease your sale, and you can always build a pre-opt-in list for that sale or for whatever the big event is on SMS, or if you're not doing SMS, on email. By the way, if you're in the chat right now, if you're in the comments, let us know if you're doing SMS. I would be super curious to find out and what percentage of people are already on this channel. If you're doing it, is it working for you guys? What are your impressions? If you're not doing SMS, why not? Would be really cool to find out.
And I think one of the things that you're showing here is that it's a very similar motif between Magic Spoon and OLIPOP with the pixelated GIF. I love what you said about even if you don't have a new flavor, a new SKU, or a new product coming out, there's ways to pixelate something that is exciting, or basically create newsworthiness within your promotions, within your product lineup, within your merchandising. But what also you've shown here is in 2020, Magic Spoon said, we'll send an email or click, get ready as we'll show you the next cereal flavor that's coming out. A year later, OLIPOP's taking that motif, but is plussed it up by saying, text, join our VIP list to get early access. And so we're taking an initial idea and building upon it to achieve our marketing goals. So that's a really important thing for us in the trenches. When you're in the trenches, having to come up with campaign ideas, is we've got various objectives, but using what we see as a starting point and then layering in what's the actions that we want, the call to action for a particular KPI, can then make it ownable for us and for our goals. And so that's a really nice evolution that you're showing, Kasey.
100%. And also something that I want to do throughout this session is first show you examples from brands that inspire us, and then show you how our team adapted some of these ideas that we saw for the brands we're working with. So you see a real example of going from idea and inspiration to doing your own campaign, and then also give you ideas for what you can do with these directions or these ideas and this inspiration at this time in Q4. So speaking of that, this is a campaign that we did being inspired by Magic Spoon in the first place, and then we saw OLIPOP, I think, after we did this one. And, as you can see, the GIF is very similar, same idea. This is for a brand that sells puzzles called Blue Kazoo. And then we have a hint here in the subject line. It says new but vintage. And that is because this new collection of puzzles is called Vintage. Something that we've added from ourselves, and something that's very in line with this brand because they sell puzzles, is we added 2 riddles here. And then the call to action is actually to reply to this email, and people who answer at least one riddle correctly get a discount towards this new collection. And honestly, and if you click on here, it actually starts a new email. And if you're in your inbox, it creates a reply to the email. And we were overwhelmed with how well this worked, actually, and it achieved 3 different goals for us. When people reply to your emails, it's very good for your deliverability. So we got a few hundred of replies to this email, which was really great. The second objective or goal is, of course, all of those people who replied to us, we were able to build a closer connection to them. And then, of course, we also replied to their replies too. So this makes email more of a conversational channel and helps your subscribers feel closer to the brand, trust it more. They're probably going to be so excited they will be more likely to go and tell their friends about this brand. And then finally, people actually went and used the discount that they got very actively. The people who responded correctly to the riddles, because they actually had to work for that discount. So we saw a much higher kind of completion rate, if you will, or discount usage rate for this. So it's an example of how you can adapt something, how you can add something of your own to the ideas that you see. The point here is take something that's coming up, make it exciting, create curiosity, create hype around it. That's the main point. Something that we would do this time around, I think this was in March of 2021, we would actually ask people to reply with riddles on SMS. It's even better with SMS because it's such a two-way channel. It's like almost like you're chatting with a friend. And something that I wanted to highlight, and I said that I'm very bullish on SMS and how your email subscribers are the best source for growing your your SMS list at the beginning. The MailCharts team has put together a whole collection of emails that invite people to join the SMS, and this one is really fantastic. I recommend that if you're doing SMS or you're thinking about doing SMS, sending not one but a few of emails like that. And like the first example here is perfect. Early Black Friday sale, and then this brand, who is this? San Diego Hat, says, subscribe to our SMS list to be the first to know when our early Black Friday sale launches. Consumers right now know that shipping delays are pretty bad, going to get even worse. So people really value early access, especially during this time. Go use it to grow your SMS list. This one is unlocked too, right, Tom?
Yeah, so that's available for anyone to see, not only this week, but that's a list that's available for, it's one of our curated lists that's available all the time. If you need a link, we can have Maria help us send that through in the YouTube chat or just reach out. And another thing in the chat, we did get a mention that sometimes SMS might not be possible for any number of reasons. You might not have a provider yet. There may be some organizational concerns. What Kasey had shared in the example that they had done, I think shows how to use email to still create excitement, build fear of missing out, build that list, and even segmenting across not necessarily just an SMS user list, but those that are really engaged and either replied with an answer or even just clicked to reply with an answer, and then creating that segmentation. So there's continued ways to use intrigue, and even email can be a two-way street. I think sometimes as email marketers, we forget that a few replies here and there is actually really good and can provide the email side of the house with more fodder to share across the entire marketing organization with customer feedback. So to use that, whether that is SMS or email, those are really great examples depending on what your given environment is for anyone listening.
For sure, yeah. The overall point is build a pre-opt-in list for something. So yeah, if you're not doing SMS, just still give people a way to get on the early access list, and just segment that within your email provider and actually send the people who clicked on that initial invite email early access. That still achieves the same goal. And people who proactively raised their hand and voluntarily said, yes, I want to be on the early access, in the early access club, they're going to be so much more engaged, and it's going to give you a really great boost at the beginning of your sale. So moving on to the second topic over here, oopsie, sold out forever. This is the first example of that I wanted to show. This is the first example. This is another example of Magic Spoon doing early access, but this time for Black Friday or for a sale. Not for a sale, not for Black Friday. It just looks New Year's-y. That's why I thought that, but just another idea for you for building that pre-opt-in list. But moving on to the next topic, this is what I call the opposite of the back in stock announcement. And as email marketers, we've seen and we've sent a ton of back in stock emails, and we all know that they perform really well. This is something that I haven't seen as much out there in the world. And this is Magic Spoon telling their subscribers that one of their flavors has sold out forever, and you actually cannot buy it anymore. So there's no call to action to go and get this flavor. And instead, they're highlighting that, basically, if you don't want to miss out on any other flavors, go shop the flavors that have remained. I find this very interesting and very effective, in a way that it's a new take on fear of missing out. We all know that fear of missing out is a very effective kind of psychological trait to tap into as marketers. However, the tactics that we all use to create fear of missing out, such as discounts, expiration date on discounts, limited availability of something, all of those things have been used so many times that people are used to them, and they're not as effective as they used to be. Of course, they're still effective. It's just that they're not as effective as they could be, because people know half of that is probably not true. when you're emailing people and you're like telling them, hey, this is over, like for reals, you can't buy this flavor anymore, it has sold out, that fear of missing out is now suddenly very real and very tangible. And they know that you're telling the truth, and they're thinking, oh, if this has sold out and they're not even asking me to buy it anymore, they must be for real. Let me go check out the other flavors that they have. So the idea here is taking something that you might not have thought could be a news maker, such as running out of a piece of stock, and making it news and creating content around it, and then driving people to wherever you want them to go. Here's another example from Clever, a brand that sells like a non-latte drink mixes that you can make at home. And this email is them saying that rose cacao has officially sold out. It was a seasonal flavor for them, so they're saying that they're probably not going to continue it. And what I really like here is that they're using this as an opportunity to get people to sign up for text. So they're saying, missed out on rose cacao, get on our text list to be the first to hear about our next flavor. So again, you can mix and match all of these different ideas that we're talking about here, and always look for an opportunity if you're building a new channel, be that SMS or something else. Maybe it's TikTok, maybe it's something else altogether. There are lots of opportunities to insert those calls to action to the emails that you're sending throughout this quarter.
On top of any, like, if you're selling out, not because it's the end of life for the product, but you're just selling out because maybe there's supply chain issues, or there's any number of logistical issues, there can be news and kind of building momentum for your lists or your biggest fans. Even though that's a bad thing to have happen, we want to be able to sell our SKUs and sell our products. There's a way to use this messaging and this motif to our advantage to kind of stoke the fires and kind of build that brand loyalty into the future when you do have it. So if you're not retiring flavors or products, but you may run into shortages this season or in the future, the email team can come to the rescue, or at least provide a silver lining on that situation.
Yeah, great point. And here's another way to use this that Clever also did. Fun fact, I found out in doing research for this session that I'm subscribed to Clever from 3 different email addresses. So I actually received 2 different variations of that email, and a text from them. And here they say that it has sold out, and they're sending me a link to a survey, a 1-minute survey about future flavors that they want to build. So that's another idea. If something has sold out, whether it's forever or not forever, it is an opportunity to kind of knock on the door of the people who have bought it and ask them what they think, if that's valuable for what you're going to do next. And speaking to what Tom just mentioned, this is an example of what we're doing with a brand called Nikki that we're working with. They have this this color, bell bottom, that is a seasonal color that is not going to be restocked after it sells out. But what we're doing here is we are doing what I think is called a jab hook approach, where we send a few different campaigns to people. And in the first one, we're telling people, hey, this is almost sold out, so if you're interested, go check it out. And I think it's really important to send something like that to people who have either bought this product or almost bought it, meaning like they viewed the product page multiple times, or they added this to cart, or they clicked on an email that featured this product previously more than 2 times or something like that. Because those people will actually appreciate if you give them a heads up before you tell them, hey, this is gone. And also, another reason I wanted to show you this email is because this is another way, or like another creative solution, a gift solution for teasing new products that's not a pixelated image. And then again, like just driving curiosity and driving people to the SMS list. So again, another example of how you can combine all of these different approaches. And then something that I didn't say is that the second email we'll send after this will be, hey, bell bottom has sold out forever. This is it. However, we have 3 new seasonal colors that we have this season. Go check those out. So again, this is an opportunity to highlight what you guys do have in stock and drive people there. Here's just another example of a similar thing from Magic Spoon, very similar. A limited edition flavor. And they're giving you only 24 hours to shop this one. Let us know in the chat whether you're watching this live, if you're watching this in recording on YouTube, how is this approach landing with you? Do you like which email did you like the best? Did you like Magic Spoon? Did you like Clever? Did you like Nikki? What do you think? Will you use it this quarter? Do you expect your team to run out of inventory? Would be super cool for us to find out and see where you guys are at. In the meantime, I'm going to move on to the third and final theme that we have here, and that is what I call branded plain text or letter type emails. The reason I wanted to highlight these in our session today is because I think plain text emails for e-commerce are a little bit controversial. I think there are enough people right now, or enough brands right now, who use it consistently for a good reason, because they work on a few different levels. And then there are other brands who are like, oh, this looks so different from what we're doing. We really need to highlight the products that we have, like the visuals of our products is what sells. So how can we send something like this? The reason emails like that work really well when sent occasionally is because they act as pattern interrupts, precisely because your subscribers and your readers are used to seeing images and like beautifully designed HTML emails from you. When they see something like this, they are actually forced to pause for a moment and read at least a few lines of what you said, of what you send, and it just helps you stand out in the inbox. Obviously, if you start sending plain text emails every day or every week, it's not going to work like that anymore. So it only works if you do it occasionally. And if there was any time to send plain text emails, Q4 is the best time for that, because there are multiple occasions that are perfect. One is Thanksgiving, sending a heartfelt letter from your team or your founders to your subscribers. I think this is an example that's closest to that. That's a great occasion. Christmas or winter holidays all together, and then a follow-up on the sale, or like the last chance type of email for the sale that you're having, or actually a Giving Tuesday type of email could also be a plain text and could work really well. Another reason why these work so well is because this is actually probably not a true plain text. It's more of like an HTML email that's made look like it's plain text. But when it's truly plain text, it passes through more filters. So it's actually a lot more likely to end up in the primary tab as opposed to the promotions tab. So when you really, really need to get attention of your people, that's the time when you want to send a plain text email. Something like this is probably also more likely to land in the primary tab, although, not as much as a true plain text. Let me see. So again, like the reason I call them letter type emails, because this is obviously not a plain text, but it very much looks like a letter. There's just one image from the team that further reinforces kind of the goal that this email has, and that is to create this emotional connection with the reader. So that's a great way to kind of remix a plain text email and for the holidays. Here's another one from OLIPOP. This time it's a follow-up on a sale. This is much closer to a true plain text. And then finally, this one is from Everlane, and they use plain text to get more people to sign up for their text list. You know, again, mixing and matching all of these ideas and using them to your advantage to the goal that you want to achieve. And then I think, you know, going back to the point of how our goal is for you to take any of these ideas that you heard today, and you can apply them regardless of what industry you're in, regardless of your you know, supply chain and your merchandising situation right now. If you're simply short on like visual content, or your team is just strapped with time, you don't have time to create a beautiful HTML design emails, this is a great thing to send in times like that, as long as you don't overdo it.
I think that that's worth, underscoring, is that at a time when 2, 3, 6 or more campaigns, when we start to add in segmentation from now until kind of the shipping cutoff in mid-December, we're all sending a lot of campaigns, and there's a lot being asked of the email, the CRM, the email marketing teams. And to have in your back pocket the ability to quickly get a message with more of this letter type or this kind of branded plain text email can even maybe instill a little bit of sanity during a time when things are very busy. And so it can be a nice, added lever to pull during a busy time. And there's performance implications that can be really positive for that main call to action, as you see here with Everlane, with joining the text list. Using these examples can also maybe help gain buy-in internally if it's feeling like, if you're feeling like there might be pushback and saying like, oh, they just don't want to make a new template, or something's really complicated. Is you can take a look at some examples from popular big brands that do a lot of visual merchandising normally, but occasionally they throw this in there. And so I think that it can, from all of us as email marketers, get an opportunity to take a breath during a time when it's pretty intense. So that's definitely a great point that I wanted to make sure that email marketers feel empowered occasionally to send out something that maybe is a little bit more simple to get the message out there and take advantage of the medium.
Yeah, great point. So to wrap this up, we really tried to fit within 30 minutes, and I think we are right there. So we don't take more of your time during this busy season. This is what we've covered. Number one was teaser campaigns, or product teasers, sale teasers. The point is, take any bigger event of the quarter, if not a product launch, that could be a sale, tease that out, build a pre-opt-in list, whether that's on email or SMS, and then give those people early access. You're achieving so many different things. You're getting your engaged people even more engaged. You're giving a boost to your sales. Lots of good things coming out of this strategy. Number two is the opposite of the back in stock campaign, or a sold out forever, or sold out for the time being email, where you take a product that has sold out for the moment, you create an email about it, and then you use that as an opportunity to either use the FOMO you created to direct people to other products, or get them to sign up for whatever channel you want them to sign up, like SMS as an example, or use that to get them to respond to a survey that you really want to hear from your shoppers about. And then finally, the third one that we've covered was branded plain text or letter type emails, a perfect a perfect template that can save your team in Q4. That is also, perfect for the occasion that we have whenever you're short on creative assets, or simply you have a very important announcement for your audience. it's more than okay to send a plain text email or a very simple HTML email that looks like plain text. You're going to get a higher open rate on that. You're going to get more people to see it. And actually something else that you can do is you can solicit replies in that email too with whatever question it is. Again, creating that extra connection with your subscribers and getting your deliverability up. That was all that I prepared for today. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Kasey. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Tom. Bye.